Hi, my name is Valerie. I am a kitchen and cooking writer based in Somerville. Today, I'm going to show you how to make Shau or soy-braised pork belly. It's a very popular dish from my home region, which is the Yangtze River Delta near Shanghai. We are known for loving sugar, and we kind of have the reputation of putting sugar in every dish. So the pork belly dish definitely has a kind of sweet profile in its taste. And in this dish, we traditionally use cane sugar, but because now I live in New England, so I'm substituting the cane sugar with maple syrup because I love maple syrup and you can find them everywhere and it's easier to melt in the pot. So here we are. First, let's talk about ingredients. We have here a slab of pork belly. It weighs about a pound. It sometimes could be a little bit over and under. And we rinsed it under water and cut them into about 1 inch thick pieces and set aside. And then we have some ginger slices, scallion. Here's maple syrup. I'm using New England maple syrup. If you don't have maple syrup, you can also use granulated sugar. You can also use canned sugar if you can find them at Asian grocery store. That'd be awesome. And we have some aromatics for simmering. And soy sauce, light soy sauce. We're gonna be mainly using light soy sauce. In my cooking, I don't find it necessary to use a dark soy sauce, so if you want to add more color to the final dish, then you can also use dark soy sauce in the very end. Here we have Shaoxing cooking wine. It's very important to the dish too. And then we have some additional salt and cornstarch if we want to make a thicker sauce. Gently place the pork to the pot. And then we're gonna grab two slices of ginger to the pot. We're also adding some sichuan peppercorn into the pot, so to get rid of the porky smell. If you don't have peppercorn, it's totally fine. And the scallion white parts. Okay. And then we turn on the heat to max, just to trying to boil the pork first, so we get rid of the impurities or anything that we don't like in the pork. Now the water has come to a boil, we're gonna turn the heat off. Gently remove the pork belly from the pot. And we're gonna place them in a colander like how you cook pasta. And then we'll rinse the pork under cold water for a minute or two. Next, we're gonna start cooking the pork belly in a wok. If you don't have a wok, you can also use a skillet that works just as fine. And I've also done it in a cast iron pan, so really it's up to you. And here we have 2 tablespoons of maple syrup. Adding the pot as the wok so it heats up. Now the syrup is bubbling, let's add the pork belly. Just be gentle because you don't want to splash. And as it cooks further, we're gonna adding the ginger, scallion, light soy sauce, that's about 3 or 4 tablespoons. You can adjust the amount of soy sauce that you're using, and also we're doing some cooking oil. I have cooked this recipe so many times that I don't really need a measuring spoon for this. But if you want to be more accurate about how you want to cook this dish, I have a recipe that will be in the description box. Give it a gentle stir. And now we're going to add 2 cups of hot water. After an hour of simmering, now we can see the broth has been reduced to 1/3 of what we had. And it has got some nice coloring. If you want to see the real authentic color of kind of reddish brown, then you can now add the dark soy sauce. Just a tiny splash. We don't want to oversalt the dish. It's approximately 2 teaspoons worth. I just add in there and give it stir. Be gentle because now the meat is super tender, and honestly they can melt in your mouth. And now bring up the heat to the highest that your stove can possibly get. And simmer. If you want to adding some tofu or potatoes or anything that you like to cook with the pork belly, now it's time. You can also add in eggs. I used to do quail eggs, but you can also just serve as is. And if you want to make the sauce thicker, you can also make a cornstarch water mixture and thicken the sauce. And now it's also time to add in that. Gotta be really careful because the pork is kind of falling apart. And we're also removing the aromatics so it doesn't interfere with the taste. So that's it. Here we have a plate of steaming hot pork belly, and if you shake it, you can see the pork belly is kind of jiggly. It's a really good dish if you want to have it with rice. That's kind of the best, that's kind of my favorite way to have them. But you can also put them in like a noodle dish, or I don't know, be creative. If you like this dish, please let us know. If you cook it, send us a picture of the dish, and I'll see you next time.